Hi, and welcome to my very first video on YouTube. This is Kiki. I've spent since December, so what's that? December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. The last 10 months restoring this car. Here we are today, and we are this close to finishing the panel work on it. I've been making content on Instagram for close to about a year now, so I thought there's no better time than now just to start showing you a bit more in depth what I'm doing. I suppose it's a bit late for that. And yeah, I told myself if I enjoyed the Instagram side of things and I felt good with it, then maybe I'd try this format of sharing my work as well. Kiki is probably like within a month of being done panel wise. So I thought I'd start now, show you what I'm up to. Then you can kind of be along for the ride by the time she's getting painted, by the time she's getting refitted. There's going to be a whole build process going on. It just could be interesting for people that are into Mx5s. So here we are. It is Wednesday evening after work. No, it's not. It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday night after work. And we usually hang around for a few hours after we've done our shift. Nathan's off doing paint things. I'm with Kiki doing panel beater things. How much am I going to get done tonight? Best case scenario tonight. And this is like best case. If I get all of this done, I'll be pretty chuffed. Get things out of the rust bath, give them a wash, have a look at making up any plates that I can tonight, and like any fab work that needs doing on those pieces, get them made up. Spray paint them. I'm thinking maybe paint them as well so that they're ready to go back on. And if I can, I'd like to do as much prep work on the car as possible, getting rid of old rust, etc., etc. Might be asking too much of the night, but we shall see. My plan is just to kind of film what I'm doing, not necessarily a full in-depth thing because I'm a one-man band at the moment, so I kind of need to get on. Hopefully it's maybe helpful or insightful, or you just enjoy watching the process. So let's get started. So we now have all of the bits that were in the rust bath out and cleaned. I will leave a link in the description as to where I got the rust bath recipe from. Well, where Nathan got it from. Nathan did the research on this. It works really, really well. You can see in the metal that a lot of the pitting has been either completely removed of rust, or you can see where it has converted it and it's gone black. It's not active anymore. But yeah, all in all, I'm so impressed with this stuff. We've used it throughout the whole of Kiki. Anything that I've cut off and can go into the bubble tub has gone into the bubble tub. I'd highly recommend you try that if this is the sort of build that you're going for. So next for me, that's I think the first thing ticked off. I need to get these painted actually. 4 ones like this, which is my outer section on like the hinge side, which is the outer sort of wing turret, scuttle extension. I don't know what you call it. It's on the outside of the hinge bit. All in here, there's no welds or anything. This is all going to be exposed. So I'm going to put some proper paint on that. I'm going to use a aerosol paint for now for this inside bit. Obviously it'll get painted over when, or it'll get kind of overspraying stuff on it when we come to paint the whole shell. But for now, while I can get good access to it, it's worth painting this up as good as possible. For any little bits like this, which is just part of the layers, I'm probably just going to zinc coat it both sides, because by the time I've painted it, there's not really going to be any point. Like, I'll be grinding most of it off, or most of it will get welded off anyway. So zinc coat these bits, proper paint some of these bits and then zinc coat anywhere where the welds are going to go. Zinc coat is just like a weld through primer that's also a rust inhibitor. Whether it's bare metal, you can just chuck some of that on. I shall hang these up and get these painted next, and then we'll have a look at what needs fabricating, because as you can probably see, that is pretty crusty and mainly missing, so that needs some attention. It's been an hour or so. I've been busy, and guess what? That no longer is missing stuff. It has had all this lower section fabricated from there up or there down, depending on your view of life, I suppose. I have managed to fabricate this section, cut out all the other bits that I needed to cut out for the rest of the fab. Everything's all painted up and sprayed. I think we're about ready to call it for the night. Everything is ready to weld back in, but the car is not. I was expecting too much of the evening, and I have not got round to sanding all that off yet. Gives me a really good base on Thursday to pick this back up again. Thursday's task will be cleaning all that up and hopefully getting as much of this welded back in as possible. See you on Thursday. Well, well, well. It's Thursday. It's Kiki time, and I'm feeling optimistic, if maybe a little bit cheeky. Now, if I get a shuffle on tonight, I reckon I might be able to get, best case scenario, all of these panels welded back in and this top corner kind of dressed off and done. We shall see. I feel like every panel beater has a trim tool or a screwdriver as something that they've sacrificed for welding. This is the first piece in. Super easy. There's not really much for me to share with you other than this is in. The plates, obviously, I cut up on Tuesday, got them synced up, ready to go. Welded it, ground off the welds using the belt sander. I'm going to zinc coat this because this is now like the bottom layer. Zinc coat it, and then I can go on with the next one, weld it, grind it off, zinc coat it, and so on, and so on, and so on, until this whole corner is back together. Anywhere where I've drilled old spot welds out, I'm going to plug them back in. It's just as close to OEM as possible. And yeah, that's me for the next few hours. It's end of day Thursday. It's currently 20 to 10. We're calling it. We're going home. And I've made some good progress, but I didn't get all of it done. So there is the first 2 layers of inner panel here gone in. I then have just a little tab here to do, that plate, that plate. But what I didn't get done there tonight, I have gotten this plate done and welded in, which, to be honest, has been just stinky on both sides. It wasn't a nice piece to put in. And then also this plate here. I still need to dress that off, drill a hole. But to have 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces welded in, 3 pieces left to go. And the 3 pieces left to go are the easier ones, where it'll just be plug welds and things. But as far as the Thursday night goes, I'm happy with that. We're in a good position for Saturday. So maybe Saturday we'll get this corner all finished up, but yeah, I'll see you on Saturday. It's Saturday, you know the drill by now. Best case scenario is I want this corner done. I want it to be none of my business anymore by the end of today. AC holes welded up, so then engine bay is done, ticked off. And then I want to go to the back of the car, under the tailgate hinges. There's apparently some rust that gets in there. If you've got a leak in your boot and you've got an MX5, that's what it is. The sealer fails, so apparently under there can get quite rusty. But we want to pick it off, have a look underneath, because while we're at this stage of the restoration, we may as well. So nothing left to do but get going. we got there in the end. This corner is now back together, fully welded up. I've dressed off all the welds. I've got my little hole drilled in here. In terms of this section, I have nothing else really to do. I have on the other side sprayed some zinc primer on it just for now, so that when we come to bare metal the rest of the engine bay off, I can just quickly go over that before we etch primer it, because ideally the etch primer we're using, it's better for it to be on bare metal. So I'm hungry, so I'm going to have some lunch. But then after that, I think it is about time that the AC holes got welded up. And there's something just so cute about welding a round hole. It's one of my favorites. I had to do it for the aerial in the rear quarter panel, and it just fits so perfectly. I'll show you what I mean, but yeah. But I'm so chuffed. I'm so chuffed that that's now done. Ah, that's a relief. I've had my lunch. I'm feeling much better. I had chicken madras. Thank you for asking. AC holes. These will be fun, quick little plates to make up. And the best way I've found to do this is actually just with tape. I'll show you my process. In terms of the quickest, easiest, just foolproof way of getting a good template, tape is a really good place to start. I have tried before using paper and it works, don't get me wrong, but it is a bit of a faff compared to just using tape. Plus, tape is sticky by nature. That feels wasteful. I'll save that for later. And when you've cut round your tape and you've got your template, you can then just stick that on your sheet metal and you've got the perfect template that's not moving anywhere. You don't have to get magnets to hold it down or anything like that. You can just trace around it. You've got your template, cut it out. I often as well chuck that tape template back on the piece I've cut out and use a belt sander just to trim up any edges. You'll have seen that in this video. I do it with every panel that I do. Time to get cracked on, make the templates, cut the bits out and get them molded in. Okay, I think that about does it for me now. AC holes are in, welded, dressed off and done. Hopefully that was helpful, and maybe it makes more sense now why I call them cute, because it just fits so perfect. How can you not just love that? In terms of stuff left to do, there's a lot of stuff left to do in the engine bay. We've got to get it all back to bare metal, ready for etch primer, but in terms of metalwork and welding, I think we're done. It's such a cool and kind of surreal feeling to think that that side of things now all done. This is another like big section of the car ticked off and done. We're kind of at the start of the restoration approach is like one side is like a chunk, doing the other side is a chunk, doing the floor section is a chunk, just to make the whole restoration process that little bit more palatable. It's been, as I say, 10 months. It's basically taken over our lives a little bit, and it's when we're not here and working on it, we're thinking about it, we're editing videos, we're doing stuff, but it's just, I love this. I've had a lot of fun today. This is just, I feel like, somewhat where my purpose is. So the fact we can do this, she's not my car, obviously, but to help Nathan build his dream and to have him go through his first restoration and be able to kind of guide him a little bit. This is just, it's just cool. I'm having a lot of fun still, even after 10 months. And really, we should be over halfway at this point. Touch wood. I know I mentioned about doing the bit at the back, but I think I might leave that to another YouTube video because we're probably about at a good time to stop now. So if you've made it to this point in the video, thank you so much. I've flirted with the idea of doing YouTube for a very long time, and it feels really cool to be actually doing it. If you have any feedback or if you've got any questions, if there's something you specifically want to see, leave me a comment. I'm going to read them all. I'm excited for what the future brings. Like, subscribe, let me know your thoughts. Thank you so much. I will see you in the next video. Patrick's calling me. From David. I'm waiting for Nathan to walk past because it makes me nervous when he watches me. The ramp for a lap. Tailgate hinges. Bless you. I have a hole in my trousers, and I am hoping from this angle you can't see it. Oh my god! I'm trying to film the last video I need to do. Stay in there for like 5 minutes, would you?